morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I am doing fantastic. Guys, we are doing great. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting, positive criticism. Guys, I do not take you for granted. You know, because now you are a fam, you're a community. You know, you've been following me now to know that I am a mom of 3, and I am married. So I want to talk to the younger me. And the younger me, by talking to the younger me, I mean the younger me, how many years ago? The younger me to around 12 years ago or so. Yeah. And what I mean by that, I want to talk to the young girls that, let's say from 14 years, because that's when you finish your primary school, from 14 years and, you know, and going up. Every little girl have a dream. Most of them. You have a dream that one day you'll finish school, you'll become successful, and you will get married. And one thing that we even plan in our minds is how our wedding will be. Yeah? So, if you see a little girl who is like 10, 12, 13, 14 and above, if you ask them, you know, to give you their detail, how they see their wedding, they will be able to tell you. So in this wedding, they're not thinking so much about the man that will be marrying them. They're thinking about the beauty, their dress, how the bridesmaid will wear, and so on and so forth. Yeah? But of course, in reality, this wedding will have a bridegroom. Yeah? It will have a bridegroom. So, what I want to, what I would like to address today is to my younger self, or to the younger girls, is, and what I'm not saying that I'm a pro, I'm not saying that, but because I have experience, I have gone through those stages, then I can say 1 or 2, 3 things that might benefit a young girl out there. Yeah. One thing that was very, very important to me. I was born in a family of boys. So I'm the only girl. And one thing I really appreciate that my dad did is my dad ensured that we had equal opportunities. Like, there was nothing like, you have, these are boys, oh, so can you go and make them food, or you're the only, can you do this? No. If there was any chores to be divided, they were divided equally. Yeah. So I would like to say that my dad prepared me and gave me a chance to be a fighter, a chance to belong, a chance to believe in myself. Where is that remote? So this also goes to parents. Parents, please ensure that you you treat your children like this, not the same but equally, so that they feel that they have the rights, or they can do, or they can achieve anything they want to be in life. So another thing my dad ensured is I was paid. Yeah. So from class 6, you know, class 6 going up, that's when you realize, oh, this lotion smells a bit better, like Nice and Lovely or something, Lady Gay, those things. So my dad ensured that I was given pocket money from that stage. So as I grew, every month my dad will give me some money to go and buy what is very important at the moment for girls, growing girls, and that was lotion and pads. Yeah. So with me, this is what he kept saying: sitaki uende uombe mtu. Unaona? So so he ensured that that money I'm given so that I can go and get what I need. And he was very observant. As I grew, the money increased, the pocket money increased as I grew. I know, a person might say, oh, but maybe your dad could afford, some parents cannot afford, blah, blah, blah. No, this one we are generalizing. Yeah, I'm talking to a point of a girl, of some things that supported me and enabled me not to make or not to make some of the mistakes that I've seen the young girls make. Yeah. So I had no excuse to go looking for those things outside. Yeah, because my dad is providing them and he ensured that I'm being provided for. Yeah. So, yes, I grew with the boys, blah, blah, blah. So one thing I noticed is where we lived, I was a tomboy. I wouldn't say I was a tomboy. Yeah. So I hated, hate is too strong. I disliked men. And it's only because where I grew is where, because I was born and raised in Eastlands, and all I kept seeing is my age mates getting pregnant, giving birth, and then their life stops there. Yeah. So I disliked if those are the young ones, yeah, but the ones that are married, their marriage wasn't sustainable. All I would see is probably waliachana na kona watoto watatu, or those things, those kind of things. So that made me feel like marriage is not a good thing. Yeah. And I felt like it's good to even, I like children. Yeah. So I was okay for me having children and not having to be committed to someone as a wife or something. Because another thing, I felt like the way I was seeing, like a man would go spend all the money in the bars, the wife is struggling. So I was like, why would I allow to struggle? I'm struggling, but the man has, if the man doesn't have money, that's another thing. But when the man is having some money and then they go and just spend it anyhowly, then that's another different case. So anyway, I made a vow to myself that one thing that I pray that never happens to me is I will never want to have a child to have a child if I cannot take care of it. Yeah. So that is one thing I vow to myself. And immediately after, and this is something that also my parents instilled on me, is I used to support them in their biasharas. Yeah. So I'll be the one probably taking the money, or like that, or like I used to be very helpful around them. And also in exchange, they will pay me. So forget about the money that was being given for mafuta and pads. They will still pay me if I committed myself to stay at their biashara work. Yeah. So anyway, I grew, and of course, the people we grew with, they can attest to this. I'm that person that if you joked with me, I will fight with boys. I didn't like someone belittling me. Yeah, because I had my stand. Because what I looked like, if you told me something, all I could see is a child that is like, all I could see is pregnancy and a child that I cannot take care of. And then my life is finished. And all I can see is, people laughing at you. Yeah, because I was that kind of a person, the kind of life, the way I had put myself, of course, being the nature of people, they would like to see you fall. Yeah. So anyway, this is what I want to tell the young girls, that you don't have to have much. Yeah. You don't have to go looking for things that are not necessary, looking for things out there because, or you've seen a man that can provide for you more than what your parents can provide for you. No, what your parents can provide for you is enough for you. Yeah. If you're living in a 1-bedroom, or if you're living in a single room with your parents, live there. Yeah, live there. But in your mind, let it be your prayer. Let it be your passion that you are the one that's going to change the story. Yeah. Do you know about this song of Lois Kim that she sings that I think it's something to do with God, just take one from our family that will always solve these problems or issues so that people don't laugh at us. Always pray that God will see you, and God is so merciful. God is so righteous. If you play your game well, if you live a life of purpose, God comes. God does not let you down. God comes. Yeah? If you're not taking people's... because remember, and I would say like Wamorada says, if you see, for example, me, I'm married, and you see my husband out there, the way you're seeing him right now, it's not how we met. We have polished each other. It has been some work. We have polished each other. So the way she says, go and look for yours and mfulie nguo. So that is what happens. Yeah. So if you go and get someone's husband, and so that because he's paying your school fees, he's taking you to Mombasa, he's doing this and this and this. Of course, you're enjoying your life now. You are enjoying your life now. But you are instilling a curse on yourself. Because remember, the weekends that you're spending with someone's husband, one, that man is like 20 years older than you. What are you doing with him? The weekends you're spending with him is weekends that he's supposed to be at home with his family. Remember, women pray. Married women can pray. Most of them can pray because marriage is not easy. It's not for the faint, like with roho nyepesi. It needs a lot of wisdom. It needs a lot of, it needs a lot of prayers. Yeah. So don't involve yourself with things that will instill curses in your life. So you come, you grow. If you haven't if you didn't get pregnant through the journey of you growing up, then you have had to abort so many times. So you are coming into, now you get into marriage, you again starting, you are from one marriage to the other, to the next relationship, to the next relationship, to the next relationship, only because one, you did not do what you were supposed to do with your life. If you're a child, be a child. Yeah? You are not 16. You're not supposed to be 16 and hopping from one place to another with 40-year-old men. Yes, I know people be like, but men. No, it's up to you to look after your life. Yeah? This is for the younger me and for the younger girls. Please take care of yourself. And I always keep saying this. When the time comes and you want to have children, yeah? And this is what happens when you have control in your life. You choose how many children you're going to have, because at the end of the day is you carrying those children. If you have a responsible partner or husband, he can say, oh, I would like 3. And you are like, oh, I would like 2. But you can come into an agreement and say, okay, let's settle for 2. Or let's settle for 3 instead of 4. You can have that bargaining moment because you did what you were supposed to do with your life. You empowered yourself. It doesn't mean that you went to school, you have PhD. No, but the little things or little opportunities that you had in life, you took them, grabbed them, enabled them. So by the time you are meeting with someone, you are mature enough to make those decisions. Remember, if you bring a child in this world, it is your responsibility. Don't start running up and down you know, saying someone is not helping you, someone is not... Have children that you can also take care of. Yeah? I know there's unemployment, there's all those everything, but like I told you, if you live a life how it's supposed to, people can mess. Even if you had a child when you were young, it's not the end of life. It's not the end of life, but learn from your mistakes. Where did you go wrong? Were you supposed to be at school doing your Form 2 exams, Form 3, Form 4, but you are here trying things that you're not supposed to be doing? Because let me tell you, the thing, you know, our parents used to tell us, those things that you think they're very... Itafika na hata hautafanyanga, because there's... Right now, how old am I? How many responsibilities do I have? So, even the thought, you know, you think, hey, the day I will get married, the way I will do this and this and this and this, the way I will do all the steps, you need. My friend, it is when you get married, when you start paying the bills, when the children start coming, when that will become a task. So can you imagine something that becomes so tasking, something that becomes so stressful, something that become like ata utaki kusikia hiyo maneno kama unaweza, because akili yako inagonga bill, inagonga kazi kesho, inagonga sijui nini. Why would that thing make you ruin yourself when you are like under 20? Anyway, that's is to the younger girls, is to the younger me. Everyone have their own opinion. That's my opinion. I feel that girls, we should take care of ourselves. Let's put our position, let's put ourselves in a position to be able to make decisions. Yeah? Not to be told that, we, nilikuleta kwa hii nyumba uzae watoto 5 ama 6. Empower yourself a way that you can, you know, even how you, sometimes how you look, how you are. It influences how a person can treat you. Yeah? But if you've empowered yourself, if you know that there's contraception, if you know that I need to do this so I cannot have children, I have to space children 2 to 3 years, then you're empowered. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Then you will have control over your life, because at the end of the day, it is your life. No one cares. The only problem will be like when you bring in children that you have to take care. So please, to the younger girls, if possible, let's make the right decision so that we don't instill, or we don't grab ourselves, or we don't bring in our lives some curses that, you know, we could have avoided, or some things that are not necessary at that particular time. Children are cute, they're marvelous, they're beautiful, they're abuju-buju, but the reality, when you've got them. Anyway, until next time, it's Teshwa Jogona Vlog. Please take care, stay blessed, and above all, be kind.